To yet another video on XLM. So in this video, I want to talk about the potential for XLM to have bottomed. Has it bottomed or hasn't it? And what are the options? So at the lows, I believe we have, which is either the beginning of a wave E or wave E already completed. Okay, because the only hard part about figuring this out is this move that bounced up afterwards. That move is not entirely clear, but there is a chance that it could also be a really choppy wave one getting ready to move higher. It is possible um, because that's basically the part that would give away whether or not this is going lower. The alternative is that this basically breaks the high, and then that's the confirmation, in my opinion, that yeah, we're probably going to continue to move higher in wave three. Because if this is a wave E completed, then this is the end of wave two. So there is a chance also that it could go lower, right? Down to the level that I did mention previously in one of my other videos, that it could go to previous wave four, the lowest point, which is around 0.05 or 0.06. And I believe the best thing to do in this case is to DCA, dollar cost average in, um, because you don't really know 100% whether it's going down there or not. So you also don't want to miss out on the move, or any move that begins to move higher at least. So I think it's wise to dollar cost average at this point. If anything, it's the choppiness of this bounce up that would lead me to say this. Another couple of interesting things here is the inverse head and shoulders pattern. There's a large one, and there's also a small one. So these types of things are very interesting. Obviously, if you look at the weekly, you're going to see that there's already been a bit of divergence there. Not really on the weekly, because the lowest point was there, but I think if you go to the daily, you could see back here, there was divergence at this point here on the daily. But all in all, look, it's hard to say. I don't really use RSI for this type of thing, but looking for clues there, nothing really sticks out on the RSI. That's why I recommend the waves always. But the inverse head and shoulder there, there's a large one here. Basically, I see it as this, right, with the neckline here, and then I can see also a smaller inverse head and shoulder pattern there, which we did get rejected, but what's to say it couldn't come back and continue? So look, these are the types of things that are making me consider the DCA scenario, because there is a chance it could go down. So the other thing is obviously that people who count waves, they might be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for some reason. That would mean that another wave down is coming, even though that's not right. But it's, I don't know, people look at different things. So right now I'm going to go over to the basically XLM against BTC, and my latest view on this particular pattern. Without the extra data before it, it can't be confirmed. But the only count that I see is accurate to the best of my ability is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading type 2 weak 5-wave move. So this is basically where wave ones move up in 5 waves, except they're overlapping. We don't have the data. We don't have the data from before this, so we can't really tell where that started. Look, the thing here is the corrections. Right? I see A, B, C, D, and then a week 5 wave move for E. So that there's valid. It's a very sharp A, B, C, D, E here for 4. And then this move here is basically a zigzag. All the components are there. We had a week 5 wave move for wave A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I believe. And then we had an A, B, C, D, E. So when you sort of zoom out and you basically put in the lines from the wave A, wave B, wave C, that's what I get, a zigzag. With that bounce at the lows being a wave B, right? And what we're seeing now is probably a wave C that still hasn't completed. So we will probably see a zigzag up eventually, plus another E to complete this. But yeah, I mean that's without trying to guess anything, it'll probably just be a small zigzag and E. In terms of time, it's hard to say. I did get someone ask me a question about when I think, if it goes to 5 cents or whatever, how long will it be there? Well, it depends on if it grinds down or if it's actually bottomed already. So if it grinds down, it might only just until it completes the pattern. So if it's a grind down pattern, then obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. But look, nobody knows. The truth is nobody knows. But I expect it once it hits that spot, that's it. It's done. It's gonna shoot straight up. It's not gonna mess around anymore, because by the time that happens, we should see a complete correction. So with this particular pattern, I just want to mention that that's a pretty large base. I mean, if this count is correct, because it's the only count that I could make with this jumble of waves here, then what are we looking for here? Like, what is the end result for such a base? Like, where is this going? I mean, all that hard effort to create this particular move, like a 1-2 scenario, basically, right? Only to move up, a little bit. Like, is there a chance that XLM goes to 1 Bitcoin worth? Like, what's going on in Bitcoin at the time when this happens? That's the other question, right? It doesn't mean that XLM is going to go up ridiculous. It could just mean that Bitcoin comes down. Like, I don't know. This is something I've been thinking about and sort of like trying to understand a little bit more about, which really makes me question the Bitcoin count even more. So I'll leave it at that for now, but I'll present more info as it comes to light. Thank you.